we're going to talk a little bit more about some piping diagrams and fitting allowance. First reminder, remember when we're figuring out these piping diagrams and our fitting allowance, everything, your answers need to be in fraction, right? Because you have to put that on the tape measure. So I don't want to see decimals down there as answers, I want to see fractions. And remember, when we talk about the 16, if you have a number like 12/16, you are expected to reduce that to 3/4. Now I realize in the shop, when you're working with your tape measure, you may keep something at 12/16, but in the paper testing world, you are expected to reduce that fraction. Okay, so I'm just going to review a couple here quickly. So number one here, find the end-to-end measurement. Answer in feet, inches, and fractions, 16. That should look familiar. So in this one, we're given the center-to-center measurement. We have 1 inch threaded pipe, and we have a 45 on one end and a 90 on the other. Okay? This one we were given the center to center. So all we need to do here is find end to end, which is good because we know how to do it. So we have 1 inch threaded pipe, right? I'm going to my pretty little fitting allowance chart. I'm looking at 1 inch pipe. I'm looking at a 90, which is 1.5 inches. Then I'm looking at a 45, which is 1 1/8. That's where I got that from. I add those two together, I get 2 5/8. And I need to subtract 1 off of that because I need to take that 1/2 inch thread in off each end of that fitting. So I get a total fitting allowance of 1 5/8. Hard part's done. Now we're taking our 22, because that was our center to center measurement. We subtract 1 5/8, we get 20 3/8. But by now, you know to read that question, answering feet, inches, and fractions. So what do we got to do? 20 inches is the same as 1'8", and that fraction stays the same. Okay? Very important, super important when you get into a multiple choice test, because I'll guarantee you that'll be an option to choose from, but the question stated feet, inches, and fractions. Okay? We spent a lot of time on conversions last semester, so I'm confident most of you can do that. Now, in the second example, this time we're given the offset, and we have 3/4 inch copper pipe, and we have 245 elbows. Find the center to center and end-to-end measurements. So in this first one, we were already given the center to center. In the second one, we're looking for center to center. And when we're trying to find that, when we're given the offset, right, we have to take that number and we times it by 1.414. I'm going to say it again because you're going to hear it 1,000 times. 1.414. That is a number you need to remember. Okay, so we are going to take 9 and times it by 1.414. We get 12.73. You know how to get that decimal to a fraction. Just remember, when we're doing our fraction, if after that decimal 5 or above, we round that up, we get 12/16. You know how to reduce it. We reduce to 3/4. Our center to center measurement is 12 3/4. Okay? This question didn't say anything about feet and inches, right? Well, how to answer it, so we can leave it as inches and fraction. Okay? Center to center measurement. Now we know how to get end-to-end measurement. I'm sort of all over the board there, apologize. There's a smiley for you. So now we need to figure out our end-to-end measurement. So we have 3/4 inch copper, and we have a 45 on each end. So I'm going to my pretty fitting allowance chart, which is your best friend. 3/4 inch copper, 45 fitting allowance is 1/4, right? Plus 1/4, with 1 for each end, we get a 1/2 inch. So we take our center to center measurement, subtract off our 1/2 inch, and we get 12 1/4 end to end. So right, your end to end always has to be shorter than your center to center. We probably got that one right. Keep working at it. If you need help, you know how to find me. Fridays at 10 o'clock are also available. See you next class.